is our neighboring planet. At its closest distance, it is about 56 million kilometers from Earth, but can be as far as 401 million kilometers at its farthest position. This means that if you board an existing spacecraft and fly to Mars, at the time when the planet is closest to Earth, also known as the launch window, you still need 7 to 9 months to reach that planet. Landing on Mars is a major challenge for scientists. Missions must endure 7 minutes of terror to land gently on the Martian surface, a dry, cold, and currently lifeless world. But they'll be discouraged because Mars might have been habitable, and life could have existed there millions of years ago. Don't you believe it? A recent study from Harvard University revealed the red planet may have maintained a magnetic field 200 million years longer than previously thought by scientists. This provides a greater opportunity for life on the red planet. So what is the truth of this story? Please join us to explore. Mars is not a large planet. It has an average radius of only about 3,389 kilometers, which is 53% of Earth's radius. This is the second smallest planet in the solar system, only after Mercury. However, Mars is one of the brightest celestial bodies when viewed from Earth, and easily recognizable by its characteristic orange-red color due to the abundance of iron oxide on its surface. The red planet also has high reflectivity, making it a favorite object for telescopes. Since the 19th century, with the development of high-resolution telescopes, surface features of the planet have been observed. By 1877, the Italian astronomer Giovanni Schiaparelli created the first detailed map of the red planet. Canali. Everyone on Earth is excited about conquering Mars, turning it into a second home when Earth becomes uninhabitable. But people forget that the red planet is only half the size of Earth. There, even breathing becomes difficult. The planet's atmosphere is very thin, with 95% being carbon dioxide. In contrast, we are not plants. We cannot inhale carbon dioxide and exhale oxygen. We need oxygen to sustain life. Mars currently has no oxygen and also lacks many necessities for life, such as liquid water, food, etc. The red planet has an extremely harsh climate. It has a large temperature range, with winter temperatures dropping to minus 110 degrees Celsius and reaching 35 degrees Celsius in summer at the equator. Additionally, you could be knocked down by dust storms with speeds of about 160 kilometers per hour. These dust storms can develop into massive, dense dust storms covering the entire planet. In summary, the red planet is currently a dry, cold desert unsuitable for living. Nevertheless, Mars's past was completely opposite, an astonishingly Earth-like world. First, both planets formed about 4.5 billion years ago, from clouds of dust and debris orbiting the Sun. The cores of both planets contain iron and nickel, with a solid iron core inside and a molten iron core surrounding it outside. When heat leaks from the solidifying inner core, it creates convection currents rising through the rotating outer molten core. These convection currents move through the existing magnetic field, generating electric currents, inducing their own magnetic field, which feeds back into the existing magnetic field and amplifies it. This is precisely the geodynamo. The result of this process caused both planets to have strong magnetic fields from their early days. Currently, our planet is fortunate to still retain its magnetic field. It acts as a shield, protecting the atmosphere from solar radiation, while keeping the planet moist and liquid water flowing in oceans, rivers, and lakes. But the red planet was not so fortunate. Most scientists believe that about 4.1 billion years ago, Mars suddenly lost its magnetic field. causing the planet to be continuously attacked by solar radiation, losing its atmosphere, liquid water evaporating, leading to its current barren state. The reason for the loss of the magnetic field is that Mars is nearly 50% smaller than Earth, so its iron core cooled down quickly. The dynamo stopped and the magnetic field disappeared. It can be seen that the magnetic field is one of the most essential factors for life to form on a planet. Magnetic field, like Earth, shielding its atmosphere from solar wind and destructive radiation. Without this shield, planets become vulnerable, leading to atmospheric loss and direct exposure to harmful radiation. However, did Mars' magnetic field disappear as suddenly as people think? What chance is there for ancient life on the red planet? Scientists at Harvard University have embarked on finding the truth. Their newly published research shows that Mars' magnetic field existed 200 million years longer than previously thought. This means that instead of losing its magnetic field 4.1 billion years ago, Mars lost it about 3.9 billion years ago. Researchers at Harvard University shared that they conducted computer simulations and analyzed magnetic field samples in ancient impact craters on Mars. As a result, they found signs indicating the red planet may have undergone a magnetic pole reversal, a process also seen on Earth. They proposed that this reversal means Mars' magnetic field was much stronger than initially estimated, creating longer stability and protection for any potential microbial life that may have been present there. If this is true, Mars' magnetic field lasting about 200 million years longer would give the planet much broader habitable time. With the extended duration of the magnetic field, favorable conditions for life, such as liquid water, stable temperatures, and atmospheric protection, could have existed for a significantly longer period. Theoretically, this extends the time during which life could have developed on Mars. Wow, how interesting is that? The difference between Mars with a magnetic field and without one is enormous. During the era with a magnetic field, the red planet could boast a bigger atmosphere, more stable temperatures, and even the possibility of liquid water on the surface. This phase could have lasted hundreds of millions of years. At that time, Mars could have been an environment rich in potential for life, possibly even supporting microbial ecology in soil or aquatic environments. We really cannot rule out the possibility that life once existed on Mars from our minds. The loss of the magnetic protective layer led to negative transformation, turning a potentially life-bearing planet into the cold, barren desert we see today. Its atmosphere thinned, surface water evaporated or froze at the poles, and every chance for life as we know it diminished rapidly. We cannot know for certain what happened to Mars in the past. Scientists only know when running computer simulations. Therefore, NASA has sent dozens of landers along with rovers to Mars, and even mini helicopters to hunt for traces of ancient life. As of late 2024, Mars is home to 10 active spacecraft, with 8 in orbit and 2 moving on the surface. That's the curious robot Curiosity and the persistent Perseverance. Explorations from remote to recent have been providing important clues about traces of ancient life on Mars. On Earth, water is a prerequisite for sustaining life. It is a solvent that dissolves organic substances, helping life form and develop. The first lifelike organisms on Earth also originated from the ocean, after the process of evolution and crawled on the land. The history of water discovery on Mars has gathered significant findings in the past 2 decades. Ironclad evidence confirms an interesting fact. Mars once had liquid water oceans on its surface. In 2004, NASA's Opportunity lander discovered the mineral jarosite. This mineral only forms in the presence of acidic water. This indicates that water once existed on Mars. Meanwhile, the Spirit rover found concentrated silica deposits in 2007, indicating past wet conditions in the area. By December 2011, NASA's Oppo Trinity rover continued to discover gypsum deposits, also formed when water was present on the surface of Mars. Over the past 2 decades, we have been tracking clues about water in Mars' past. Now we know that some groundwater is trapped in Mars' crust. It is estimated that the amount of water in Mars' crust could be equivalent to or greater than the amount of water on Earth. In July 2020, NASA's Mars 2020 mission was launched to Mars. The Perseverance rover has been operating since February 2021 and discovered evidence of an ancient lake on Mars. Jezero crater was once a lake with many rivers flowing into the basin billions of years ago. Perseverance has collected over 30 samples into test tubes and is ready to return them to Earth in the next decade. Careful and meticulous observations in experts' laboratories will help answer the final question we anticipate: whether life ever existed on Mars or not. China also contributed a similar discovery when the Zhurong probe landed on Mars in May 2021. This robot landed in the Utopia Planitia plain in Mars' northern hemisphere, where researchers had previously discovered many signs of ancient water. And Zhurong did not disappoint everyone. It also discovered evidence of an ancient coastline in the landing area. Chinese scientists believe that the ocean was formed through the plain about 3.7 billion years ago. Subsequently, the ocean froze and eroded the coastline, before disappearing more than 3.4 billion years ago. The discovery of the red planet's magnetic field lasting hundreds of millions of years longer, and liquid water once abundant on the surface, gives us another important piece of the puzzle about Mars' developmental history. Moreover, this discovery also holds significant meaning for current and future Mars conquest missions. Missions to the red planet will be full of excitement and hope. Life very likely once existed on Mars, and our Earth is not the only world with life in the solar system. When someone talks about life on Mars, I dare not think about an advanced civilization ever existing. Because if they had appeared, NASA's intelligent robots would have detected their traces long ago. But we found nothing. Not even the fossil of an insect, a coal streak, or anything similar. So what happened to Mars remains a curious question in our minds. In Mars' still winding story, we also learn much about Earth. The role of Earth's magnetic field, oxygen-rich atmosphere, liquid water, all are vital for life on Earth. By understanding what happened to Mars, we will know how to protect our planet from repeating Mars' mistakes. The more we explore and expand our knowledge of Mars' developmental history, the closer we get to the answer of whether we are alone in the universe. And no matter what, let's cherish what Earth has. Protect our blue planet to sustain life as long as possible. After all, we do not inherit Earth from our ancestors but borrow it from our descendants. Thank you for always following and accompanying Katsuki. Wishing you relaxing moments and a pleasant evening. And now, goodbye and see you in the next videos. Farewell, goodbye and see you.